you smell what this movie is cooking.
Music again by Sakura over here.
That's right. Every day.
All right. Welcome back to Last in Class Podcast. This is Mike.
Sakura.
And Tyler.
Tyler, where can they get us on social media?
You can check us up on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Last in Class Podcast. Also going to check out our last video on YouTube where we talked about Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, and you better like and subscribe and leave some comments, please.
Thank you.
There you go, Sakura.
Say something nice or say something bad. That's fine. We can take it. We can take it.
Anything works.
Right.
Call us a bunch of jabronis like The Rock would.
All right. So this is our last movie in our video game round. First one was Mortal Kombat. Then we did Super Mario Brothers, and this one is Tyler's pick. Tyler, we already said it. What is it?
Rampage
From 2018, rated PG-13, runtime 1 hour 47 minutes, budget of $120 million, worldwide box office of 428,
Nice.
and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 51%, right smack dab in the middle.
A little over.
It's
One over.
1%
over.
Yeah, there's a couple percent, give or take.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, so anyone play the video game?
I have not. I am the youngest here, and nope.
I did.
I only played a few times, and it's been probably 20 years, so I just remember monsters destroying buildings. Sakura, you played it more? Anything?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. I just played it again after watching the movie just to, just see how closely it was related to the movie. But no, you're basically right. It's three monsters smashing buildings and fighting the army or something like that. That's it. That's all it is. You get points and you eat people and you smash shit.
All right, so sounds like a great synopsis to just make a generic Hollywood summer blockbuster movie. This movie was directed by Brad Payton, who did San Andreas, Journey 2.
Also with The Rock.
Yeah, sounds like he does rock movies. Written by Ryan Engel, who did Nonstop and The Commuter and Beast. And obviously starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Davis
Okoye.
Yeah, that's how they say in the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know who The Rock is in movies. He was in Black Adam, Fast and Furious, Jumanji.
And he's the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Yes, since we all like wrestling here, yes. That's where we all knew him first
If
from.
you don't know The Rock, you're a jabroni.
Then we got Dr. Caldwell, or Kate Caldwell, played by Naomi Harris. She was in Venom, Pirates of the Caribbean, newer James Bond movies, and 28 Days Later.
Good movie.
That's the great movie. That's obviously the first movie I saw her in. Then we got Claire Whitten.
It's Whitten or Wyden? One of those two.
Played by Malin Eckerman. She was in Heartbreak Kid, 27 Dresses, and Watchmen. And playing her brother, Brett Whitten, is Jack Lacey. He was in The Office, White Lotus, a couple other little things. Then Harvey Russell, who was played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
The great Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes, Sakura over here is a man crushing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's obviously in the show The Walking Dead,
A couple of hunks in this movie.
Grey's Anatomy, and I love him in Watchmen. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
He's good as Negan.
He's better as the comedian. Trust me.
Well, I got my baseball bat right
Watch
here.
Watchmen, and I guarantee you will fall in love with him again in that movie.
Taking it like a champ.
Then we got Harvey. Oh, wait. We did Harvey Russell.
Yep.
You can do him twice. That's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's
Twice
fine.
as good. Colonel Blake, played by Demetrius Gross, one of those. Something like that. He's in Love Jacked, Body Cam, Shows, The Rookie. Oh, the show, The Rookie. Looking at your notes, Tyler.
It's okay.
And last but not least, the man we all here are jealous of, Burke, who's played by Joe
Manganiello.
That's right. Know him from the Magic Mike movies. One of his first movies, the original Spider-Man movie, True Blood. And why are we all jealous?
I don't know. You tell us, Sakura.
No, I'll tell you. I will tell you right now, because he is
Tell me.
married to Sofia Vergara.
I say he's a hunk. That's fine.
What?
What?
You're jealous because he just gets to see himself in the mirror?
I wouldn't mind waking up and looking like that.
How do you want to do it today? Just do a quick synopsis of the movie? All right, you guys lead the way. And as always, this is a newer movie. So, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about everything that happens in this movie. So, if you don't want to hear spoilers, now is the time to shut it off. There we go.
Did that for you
first
live.
beer crack of the night.
Well, it's beer number 2, and they're tall boys, so let's not
Well,
lie to the audience.
first one since we started recording.
That's true.
All right, so movie starts off with one of these scientists, astronauts in space, and the ship has gone to crap. It is being destroyed, and apparently a rat has gone loose, but, you know, it has superpowers. Has Rampage in them.
That's right.
And she's trying to save...
Yeah, she's trying to save the DNA,
Yeah, that's what it is.
the mashup of, terrible science experiment is what she's trying to do. Hey, we're going to combine all these animals into a bunch of shit and throw it together, and, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the test subject is on the loose. Test subject is a rat. Not anymore.
Not anymore, but
First quote of the movie.
That's right, but it's also an Easter egg because in the game there's a rat, apparently, in, the sequels or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I read something about that.
Yeah, it's
That there was actually a rat in it. It's not something they just threw in here.
Yeah, it's for the diehard fans. I also saw that.
It just made me think of the Princess Bride rats, the size of it. You remember that movie? Yeah. Those huge rats of enormous size or whatever they're called.
Inconceivable.
That's right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so she's basically forced to go get the DNA or whatever.
Because she wants to leave, and then the person's like, you're not getting off there unless you get the DNA.
Right, which is such bullshit.
I know.
No, fuck you.
Right.
I'm leaving.
We're gonna this is about to blow up. We can save you, or we can save this experiment. Just we're not saving you unless you grab this. Just what are you talking about? Ugh. That was my first thing I didn't like about the movie. Just you have no empathy for a human being.
Yeah, she's got to go, she's got to crawl through the spaceship that's full of her dead comrades and stuff like that are, been brutally killed by this rat.
Right.
Yeah, sneak by and then starts getting chased by a rat who's doing pretty good moving in space for being a new thing for him.
Yeah, he's got it down. I mean, and there was, she took 3 canisters and there was 5 remaining.
Yep.
Possible sequel.
That possible sequel. And then she gets into the thing and closes the door and the rat, scratches it and she thinks she's safe as the thing blows up.
The escape pod, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that sucker blows too because it got scratched up.
But conveniently, that DNA specimen was designed to survive an explosion.
They didn't say that till later, but at that moment I was like, so this whole entire ship, disintegrates coming in, but those 3 canisters all make it down magically with nothing.
Right.
Just by the magical line, they were designed to do that, but that's not how it works.
It's called plot armor, which The Rock has a ton of in this movie.
All right, take us, Tyler. Where are we going next?
Here we go.
You start off with Dwayne's character, Davis, and he's with his group in is it at the place or is it just
at the zoo?
It is at the zoo. Okay.
I thought it was supposed to be jungle at first, and I wrote in my notes before I scratched off, this is a horrible looking fake jungle. But then I found out it's the zoo.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
So he's with his little group workers or whatever, and then they go into the gorilla exhibit area where they meet this one family of gorillas, and one of them's like a teenager, kind of like the head of the table.
Pablo.
Yep, that's his name.
Just a baby boy.
Just got entered into the zoo.
Yep. His Davis's friends are scared because Pablo's kind of growing crazy a little bit, and Connor, I think, is his character, played by Jack Quaid.
Huey from The Boys.
He gets scared by Pablo, and then George comes out of nowhere and hip checks him, and then he goes flying, and then George is the bigger man.
Yep, making jokes.
Yep, the albino gorilla.
Only one in existence.
Who knows sign language.
Yeah.
The Rock does.
Yeah, he taught him.
Yeah. They have a bond.
Strong bond.
Yeah.
I also like that The Rock has the same powers as Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, where he just puts his hand up and the raptors are fine. Same thing with The Rock and George in this movie. He's just chill, bro.
I'll accept that in this movie more than I will in Jurassic World.
Okay,
I cannot stand that in Jurassic World. I hate the whole training raptors to be soldiers type of stuff.
You don't like Blue?
No.
My boy, Blue?
No. It works in this movie, though, because gorillas can be trained more. We know that.
Yeah, Coco the girl could play bass guitar. Not really, but...
Coco could do lots of things.
She knew sign language.
Yeah, she knew tons of stuff. All right, so where are we moving to?
You see those DNA samples later that night get thrown into 3 different locations around the world. One of them had to have been in that gorilla exhibit area.
Yeah, gorilla exhibit, a swamp, in like a desert where there's like a whole bunch of wolves.
Yeah.
Weird.
I would have preferred if one landed by a human and we got a giant monstrous human in this movie to
Well,
fight
that's
these
what
things.
the game is supposed to be about. The game is the humans take a vitamin and turn them into monsters. This is just regular animals get infected with a serum.
Yeah, I don't want a human that turns into a monster like animal. I want a monstrous human to fight these animals. That'd be
So
sweet.
you want a giant man?
Yes. Yes for the sequel. That is the only way I'm seeing the sequel if they make one.
Make the Rock.
Yeah, I was
40
literally
feet.
just thinking that
Yeah.
The Rock turns into it.
Yeah, give Rock the serum. He can do
And
it.
then George helps.
Yeah.
All right, so these canisters spray out this mist or whatever.
Alligator eats it.
The alligator eats it. George gets sprayed in the face. And next thing you know, it's like the next day and he's gotten into the grizzly bear exhibit
Yeah.
and he's like broken its neck or something.
Oh, he killed him.
Yeah, he killed him.
He destroyed it with his hands.
He scratched up a little bit too.
Yeah, you don't see it happen, but you just see the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got the claw marks, the Wolverine claw marks on his chest, and he's all sad sitting in a cave waiting for the Rock to come get him.
Yeah, just breathing heavy, and he's like, "It's okay, you know. I know you're sad, and like, I can see what you did. He hurt you. You're hurt. Like, it's okay. Just relax. We can handle it."
Right.
But then this is when you actually like see the Rock's face after George gets out of the cave that he's grown a little bit.
Yeah,
from
he's
the
like
last time.
almost doubled in size.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a lot bigger than what he was.
Yeah. So then,
So after that, I remember one of the first things after that is a guy destroying a model of a spaceship or whatever, and that's when we
Oh,
get
the douchey brother.
yeah, that's when we get really introduced
Oh,
to those
yeah.
two characters. That they're the brother and sister who are in charge of some big corporation.
Who were responsible for this.
And they're like, this is tens of billions of dollars we just lost because he's throwing a little fit. And she's like, well, that's a $20,000 model you just broke. I was entertained by that.
Yeah.
But that brother is ridiculous. There's no way he would be in charge of a company
yeah,
like this.
exactly. That.
No,
Yeah.
he flies off the handle at the littlest things.
He's not the smartest either.
No, I
No,
don't know
at
how he
all.
made it to where he's at in life. It's probably because his sister
Yeah.
dragged
He's
him
like,
along.
you know, you're my brother. Just do what you need to do, and I'll cover you.
Yeah, her
Right.
character is strong and smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like the douchey idiot brother.
I feel like she would have thrown him under the bus a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need you. You're slowing me down.
Right.
Because she's that type
Maybe-
of vicious.
Maybe if they fleshed this out a little bit more, they could have got rid of him in the first act.
Well, it's a big action movie. It was only an hour, 40 minutes. That's kind of short for a popcorn feature
Yeah.
for the
I
summer.
was actually surprised it was that short too, though.
If it was any longer, this movie would be way worse.
I
so.
mean,
Yeah, it's
it
true.
was good for the source material they had to go off of. They have nothing to go off of.
Right. Which is the
If you
reason, though, like, if there's not enough source material, don't make it a movie.
I mean, if you can make it a good movie,
So it's basically, like a big monster movie, which is fine.
yeah.
And then we get, the military guys arriving, or
Joe Manganiello.
yeah, there we go. Not really military, like they're probably
They're
hired guns.
special ops, yeah, like
Something
covert.
like that.
But basically, you get all like the news things saying that there's, things have fallen into Earth or whatever. So that's when you get his squad
Yeah.
or whatever in the woods
You see
area.
his burned hand. Like, his introduction is him, stepping out of a van or whatever, but he's holding a gun while he steps out, and then he puts it in the gun holster on his chest. Why is he just holding the gun while he's driving this car?
Never know, bro.
I do know. He's fine. He doesn't need to. It makes no sense.
He's got threats all around.
I wrote that down in my notes, so it's significant. I was sort of falling asleep multiple times this movie, so the important stuff like that is really going to stick out to me.
I mean, maybe it was just edited weird.
It was just to make him look more of a badass.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. I feel like all of his movies, he's either like a badass guy or like the guy, if you know what I mean.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
one of those. But so yeah, then all of his squads go to the forest area trying to locate this wolf or whatever, and you see the brother and the sister watching as they go there. They see the wolf paw on the ground, and it's like gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, it's much bigger. I should have brought that. It was like, you guys were
Yeah.
just shooting at it from the helicopter. You know how big this is.
Right.
You guys just saw it.
Like, you got called into a mission. Like, you should have know what you're up against. No one is going.
Exactly.
No one's calling secret ops into just going blind.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yes, the woods are very foggy for some reason, but you guys saw what we were shooting at, and that thing just destroyed them all.
Especially Joe's
Ralph.
character, because he like sniped it, or with his little gun in the ship or whatever. Just didn't want to mention that it was a huge wolf.
Right.
Right. A huge hybrid wolf that has a bunch of excess things.
Yeah, he mutated just like the crocodile or the alligator mutated later too. George didn't mutate.
George got the short end of the stick in this movie. He just became a giant gorilla.
Yeah, but not even as big as the other two.
No, Lizzie, the crocodile, is her real name in the game. Gigantic.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah, like insanely big compared to George and Ralph the wolf. Like insane. Like the wolf was like I can understand that, but George, he looked tiny compared to everything else.
It was like half the size compared to the other ones.
Right.
And technically, if you're just judging them by their size before they mutate, he should be the biggest.
Yes.
Right. Or if you're going off the game, they're all the same size in the game.
Right.
Could be one reason for it. George got just a little sniff of the mist, but alligator got all of it.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much the wolf got. I remember.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That could possibly be a reason why. But yes, totally agree.
My thing is, why would the alligator just eat it? I don't think alligators are just eating stuff thrown into swamps.
They could,
but maybe because sharks eat like license plates and stuff. So I don't know.
Alligators eat lots of random stuff too, but most of the time they just kill like animals and then they like put them somewhere in the water and they come back like days later for the meat to soften or whatever it does.
That's weird.
It is weird, but that's...
Was it an alligator or a crocodile? Whatever.
It was an alligator.
It's got to be an alligator because it's North America.
So yeah, you get a squad and they're trying to look for this wolf and they all of a sudden come upon it when it comes flying across from them running and kills one of them and then knocks one to the side or whatever. And then Joe's character just runs up to see if he's okay. And then, they all got their guns out shooting at the thing. You can see in the background that it's flying.
That's right.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Well, in the video game, if you hit a button, they flap their arms and can like fly in the air for a little bit.
I don't know if I ever knew that or if I remember that, but
yeah,
no, I mean,
I think that's what they were going for, but
just don't do that.
But like, if the wolf could fly, they should all have been able to fly because they all got jammed up with the same.
Maybe not the crocodile or the alligator because he just got huge, but George should fly.
Right.
Even if they didn't have to fly, maybe have some like separate superpowers that each of them have. Or something.
Right. Like George could jump like Superman from leap tall buildings in a single bound. I don't know.
Right. So they all get killed, right?
Almost everybody, but they eventually do. But
yeah, and then Sophia cries.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello gets taken out like in 30 minutes into the movie.
Right, I was totally shocked.
So was I. I was like, oh,
they built up someone. They showed his scars, and he's supposed to be a
American badass.
And then he just, I don't know. I thought he was gonna last. I thought he was gonna die in the movie, but I thought he'd get further.
I thought he was gonna help out a little bit. Maybe him and The Rock were gonna team up.
I do like the scene though when the wolf is like behind him and he's drooling on him, and then you just see the wolf's mouth right next to him, and it's like huge. We're talking about Jurassic Park earlier. It kind of reminds me of like a Jurassic Park type, but it's not though.
Right.
But yeah. I feel like they should have brought him back later on, like maybe have the wolf like chew off his arm or something, and then help fight or something.
Right,
the end.
Like just be like that rugged badass. Like I got my arm bitten off. I'm here for vengeance. And then maybe in the third act he dies,
something like that
after sacrificing himself.
Yeah,
right.
that would make sense.
And before all this happened, we also got introduced to Dr. Kate Caldwell. She was like a scientist who woke up and saw the stuff on the news, and then went to the zoo and kind of lied to The Rock that she's works for the company. But it turns out she used to work for the company, got fired. But she's there trying to help George and The Rock figure it out. Yeah. So obviously, love at first sight.
Yeah.
That's right. Just like Halloween.
Yeah, just like in all the movies we're doing.
That's right.
24 hours, all you need to do.
Not Mortal Kombat.
I don't know. Well, there was supposed to be one in Mortal Kombat, but they took it out. But all right, so now she's with The Rock. George escapes because he's getting really big, and he
gets
gets
on a plane.
Well, not yet. First he gets tranked. He gets tranked by the helicopter people
because he's running through all the zoo and stuff, and then The Rock actually gets him to calm down after just like destroying the zoo and everything. So then he's actually fine, and then the cops come out. The Rock tells him to lower the guns, then he's fine, and then the helicopter just comes out of nowhere and then just tranks him with like 10 shots or whatever to finally bring him down. And that's when we meet
Joe Manganiello.
No, who's your other guy? Come on.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, the government, the CIA has stepped in, and they are putting George on a plane, which
Mr.
The Rock,
CIA and the Southern Charm.
Yeah, and Davis tells him, no, don't do that. And Dr. Kate apparently also says she has a cure for George.
Is this where they're handcuffed?
Yep.
Yes, this is where they're handcuffed. Yeah, your Southern gentleman right here.
Taking it like a champ.
Different show.
That's all right. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
So their whole plan, where were they taking him? I don't remember.
I actually have no idea. Maybe just the the campground that they were
Just
at
take
later
him
on.
on a helicopter ride.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right. So there's the wolf that can't get stopped by Burke. They have George tranked and on a plane, and all of a sudden, what's next? The siblings, right?
Yeah, the siblings. Yep.
The siblings decide that they have like a radio signal.
Yeah, some
They're
radioactive.
gonna attract them all to Chicago.
That makes them go insane.
Right, a thing that was built in 24 hours on top of a skyscraper. They're like, oh, we just
Just to
switched it.
attract them.
Like that. No, it takes longer than that. So now all these creatures, the two that they know about, the one they don't know about, are now heading towards Chicago.
Which is where the video game's based at.
Right. Before George wakes up, we find out the doctor doesn't have a cure, and she lied. That's when Davis finds out.
Of course, she lied about everything.
Yeah, that's when
She lied
Davis
about-
finds out. So now you have a little, do I trust her? Do I not trust her? And then signal happens. George wakes up, goes ballistic on the plane, kills a whole bunch of people.
It's okay.
Yeah, they weren't good people, but they weren't bad people. They're just that's our military, sir.
Hey, The Rock doesn't judge. Then they all parachute out, right? That's the scene?
Yeah, the longest plane crash of all time. Totally unrealistic that they would escape this plane the way it's going down. She goes first.
There's a bunch of unrealistic shit.
And then Davis the Rock has enough time to get a parachute on
Multiple parachutes.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, who's knocked out and like stuck on something.
So yeah, like cargo thing or whatever.
So of course the three big celebrities in the movie, they make it out, and everyone else gone.
Where's the body?
Yeah, where's the body? George went down with the plane. Plane crashed.
But
There's
he's
nothing left.
Not affected.
Yeah, George escapes, of course.
He just rode that sucker down like a champ.
Getting bigger. He's getting bigger and bigger.
Yep. Just keeps growing because, once again, that stupid DNA, what is it, blue whale growth serum?
Something like that.
Something about a great white shark where you can just keep growing. And then like a beetle, the strength of a beetle.
Rhino beetle or something like that.
They just jammed it all in there.
Right.
Just the most random creatures, too.
Yeah.
Blue whale, shark. Like, I can get that. And then a beetle?
Did they give reason for it? I don't remember.
They did, but
because the outer strength, probably.
Yeah,
the shell. That's probably why. Because they're like indestructible. Nothing like bullets and stuff can't affect these things. And
I'm sure you could shoot a beetle.
A beetle and insects like that have their skeletons like on the outside.
Yeah.
So before the plane went down, I forgot. This is the quote of the movie for me. Michael's quote of the movie is from Jeffrey Dean Morgan. There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's, when science shits the bed, I'm the guy they call to change the sheets.
All right.
That's right. I had to struggle a little bit to find a quote but once I heard that one, I was like, you know what? That's probably going to be the quote of the movie.
I don't know. I like the.
I have a couple other quotes too, but I have one from Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character.
Yeah, I have a quote from The Rock, like right after the plane crash.
Yeah, what was that?
Even assholes deserve a second chance. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan says, like, just like my grandpappy said. And I forget what he said.
He kept talking about it.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole entire movie.
Something about assholes and how he's cool.
All right, so then after the plane crashes and they're talking about where they should go from there, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character had called his group of people or whatever to come get them, and they brought them to the
military base?
Yeah,
or?
that's what
super secret cool base.
Yeah, they don't go in full explanations on stuff. They already have like a military setup wherever. It was probably built for this in just some empty space.
Yeah, wherever they need to be, they're going.
Right.
And they're talking to the colonel there, telling them that they have a plan. They just have to trust us. And the colonel's like, nope.
Right. Reasonable.
Well, military man. You take your military orders from the top. You don't listen to civilians.
You don't take it from a primatologist. Like, we got a plan. Like,
yeah.
No, bro.
No, we gotta stop these things because we have them on radar now. They're both headed towards the city.
Right. Like, I know you love this gorilla, but like, you gotta chill out.
Yeah, because once that signal went, George was no longer George. He's kind of like brainwashed. He's killing people. Nothing can stop him.
Right.
He's just a mindless monster.
That's right.
And they get to watch their army guys
just get decimated.
Yeah, just get decimated over and over.
I just feel like after they see him get killed over and over again, you think you could just stop? I mean, obviously, you're trying to protect people and stuff, but they just keep dying.
Yeah, obviously the same stuff, the same weapons aren't working.
Right.
This is because they sent in their people after they did like airstrikes on them. If the airstrike didn't work,
right,
then simple bullets from guns aren't going to work.
You drop these huge missiles on them. All right, let's get boots on the ground. get some AKs or whatever.
Let's level up.
Yeah.
Let's go in.
Right. Just make sure you guys got a bunch of ammo. Let's
We'll
roll.
be good.
You'll be fine. The missiles didn't affect them, but you guys will be
The bullets will work.
right. The bullets are fine. Just keep shooting.
At this point, we also get a backstory for George, where like he was found under like, was it The Rock's car?
I don't think it was his car, but it was under like
He found he
car.
found like baby George under a car where George saw his mother get
Her hands cut off.
hands cut off and just
beaten to
slaughtered
death
by
and stuff.
Yeah. Sad story.
sad story. And then The Rock said something about like
That's why he loves his
The Rock
monkey.
was there, and then he's like, they missed, I didn't, as in he killed all the poachers.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's right. Because
So-
The Rock doesn't mess around.
That's right. Well, go for it. Dirty poachers deserve it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So after that, we get the whole explanation. We also kind of get a backstory for Dr. Kate as well. Her brother was sick, so she worked on a cure with that technology they had, and they were taking her research and like weaponizing it, and that's when she got fired.
That's right. She
Yeah.
knew too much.
Yeah, so two backstories at the same time. And after that, we get Davis and Dr. Kate escaping from this military base with almost no effort because they're put with like two guards who were just like, follow us. and they,
Like dumb guards. Like,
Yeah.
do your job. Don't let them talk. Just do your job.
and no one else notices. Like, this is the easiest escape I think I've ever seen in a movie
Yeah. Especially on a military base, too.
Right.
Like,
Right.
when
So we're-
stuff is going down like this.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just checking out of here. It's like we're just checking out of the Holiday Inn.
We also hear that after the airstrike didn't work on these creatures, that they're going to evacuate the city.
Which they don't really do.
They say they evacuated over half, like really within minutes almost. They're like, let's evacuate the city. And then like 10 minutes later, they're like, half the city's evacuated already. This is Chicago. There's no way.
Right. And you'd think if people were paying attention, like to news and just looking outside your window, you'd be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
There's monsters.
Right.
Monsters.
And little do
Huge
they know that they're
monsters.
going there, too.
Right. Yeah. Like you should probably put that on your little like news bulletin. Hey, they're heading for Chicago because we created some shit for the monsters to go directly to in your city.
They say that, but at the same time, there's also just like ferry boats with like a whole bunch of people on it.
Yeah.
Because the crocodile pops up
Yes.
now, or the
Oh.
alligator. I keep saying crocodile. The alligator pops up, so this is the first time everyone basically finds out about it, and it just pop. Look, we're watching it right now, and it pops up and knocks over a ferry boat with a whole bunch of people.
Oh, and the Rock's flying a helicopter.
If you're evacuating the city, I think you're going to stop the tour boats as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
Any type of, things like that.
So this alligator is huge in this movie.
Yeah, way bigger than the wolf. Way bigger than the Ralph the wolf and George the gorilla.
Yeah, George is the smallest, even though he's technically the biggest animal before the mutation.
And the strongest.
Right, and the strongest. Gorilla's like one of the strongest.
Yeah.
Land.
I mean, unless you were counting like bite force and
No, we're not talking about bite force. We're talking like probably like arm strength.
or just like a gorilla is just straight muscle.
Right, just dense and thick.
Yeah.
Right, so creatures destroying the city, military is failing again. Look, those guys just got squashed.
Yeah.
Like why?
Bullets
why
aren't
you even
working.
trying?
Like you guys can see
Let's
it.
keep firing.
But it's not. Oh, and here come Dave and Buster's getting
the
destroyed.
Dave and Buster sponsorship, clear as day, right there for you.
I mean, George is going to town right now, just body checking buildings, and like they're all boys right now. Like all the monsters are just wreaking havoc together. Just like yeah,
Yeah, because then they're all going towards the building with the radio signal.
that's true. Here goes a jet plane, and Lizzie is the name of the alligator.
Lizzie?
Yeah, but you don't find that out, I don't think, at all in this movie.
No, I've never heard them say it. Did they say Ralph in the movie?
They do say
They
Ralph.
They say Ralph.
Okay.
They never mentioned Lizzie, though.
All right, so we officially know two. Well, they didn't even know about the alligator
Until right there.
until the third act.
Yeah.
So
And I guess they didn't decide to give it a name.
All right, so after they secretly leave the military base, they're flying to Chicago to go to the building to figure out this cure for George and the rest of the other
to get the
things.
antidote or
Yeah.
whatever they have.
So they go into the building where the brother and sister work at. They're looking all around to try and find the cure. And apparently all the database is on a thermostat because apparently the FBI had got all their, electronics and everything. So they washed everything out of the system. But apparently an iPad is chilling in the the refrigerator or whatever, and apparently all the database is on that. Okay, cool.
That's, no backups. You just have it.
Thermostat.
Yeah, thermostat.
So they find the cure on there, and then they're trying to look in the parts in the building, but the brother and sister are trying to pack up and leave. Then they see that Davis and Kate's character are in the building, so now they're trying to confront them and threaten them and trying to get rid of them. So as Kate's character goes into this room and finds the cure, she's trying to put a couple in her pocket or whatever, but Kate and Brett's character pull up with their guns. They're saying, put your hands up, you shouldn't be here. Kate slips one of the antidotes in her pocket and then gives the sister, the rest of the cures, and then they go up to the top of the building where the helicopter is, where they plan on leaving. And next thing you know, George and the wolf or something are up there.
Yeah, George and Wolf are up there, and
Ralph.
Yeah, and Lizzie's climbing up there somehow, and then we
she's
get
got like tusks of a. She's got
Right.
a bunch of powers.
Yeah, but she's also super heavy, and I doubt that building would sustain that. So they have that huge fight on there. The brother goes downstairs.
The brother runs away.
The brother runs away
Because George is like banging on the tower thing
Right.
to get rid of the signal.
but the sister stays, whatever, and George eats her, and then we get the awesome quote of feeding the monster to the gorilla.
That's right, and that's a callback to the game because
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because they will eat women in red dresses.
Yep.
In the game,
Because she was leaving with a red dress, and that was to the video game of the people with red dresses getting eaten.
Yeah.
Nice. This is the first movie we've done where I have not been able to do any trivia or research or anything beforehand.
It's too bad.
Yeah, it's a weird world when Sakura knows more about the the behind the scenes stuff than I do. But
That's
it's
right.
Have the tables have
Truth
turned.
today.
And Tyler.
Tyler always does some research. Tyler, I mean,
I always like interesting or trivia
Yeah.
questions about
Yeah.
movies and stuff.
Sakura's teaching me though.
Well, Tyler's teaching us all.
And I got more to talk about later.
Hey,
That's
Tyler's
right.
young. Tyler had the last couple of years.
And that's the impressive thing.
He's taught me how young people talk and what young people do.
Which we will get to later on.
Yeah,
some other
we'll do
episodes.
little tidbits on him teaching me stuff.
This movie
Maybe
slaps.
What'd you say? Yeah, God, it's one of those. No cap.
That's right.
No cap.
I think that was the first real one I learned from him. What no cap meant. So at this point, the brother gets all the way down the stairs,
I love this scene.
and then Harvey's just weighing down
One of my
there.
favorite scenes.
Yeah, and he's just like, "You just ran down all the stairs.
80 flights of stairs.
I was about to run up there and get you." And he just basically convinces the brother, like, "Hey, give me that computer, and you can just run out that door." And
because he
looks,
sees the people
Yeah.
outside getting smushed by all
Yeah,
these
he's-
building parts
yeah.
he
falling
sees all the
down.
big building pieces falling, and he's just like, "Just give me the computer."
And he gives him a rat.
He starts
too.
to run away, and he goes, "Wait, leave the little fella
Yeah,
here
leave
for
the
me."
little fella. So then the brother, he's like, "Oh, awesome, thanks." And he's like super happy, runs outside, and just bam, huge piece of building smushes him. And
I don't remember exactly what his quote he says right there, but it definitely reminds me of a Negan type character.
Oh, yeah.
That was like probably the most. That was probably the one laugh I really got out loud for this movie.
Yeah. It was something like, will you look at that? Or I don't know. It was something, it was something awesome.
Yeah.
So, something corny but awesome.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Oh, what? Oh, after that, like at this point, the building basically falls over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And they get into the helicopter, which is now broken, and they turn it
It
on.
doesn't have a tail.
And as they say in this movie, riding an avalanche. We're riding an avalanche. That's what The Rock says. As the building falls over
Yeah, he's like,
with the helicopter,
we're not
and
going
once-
anywhere. We're just going to ride it down like an avalanche.
So they survived a plane
Ah.
crash they wouldn't have, and now they are going to survive being on top of a building that falls down just because they're in a helicopter.
Yeah, because
with their seatbelts
The
on.
Rock knows what he's doing. He's a primatologist that also is an ex-covert. He knows how to fly helicopters.
Who knows sign language as well.
He's a genius.
Right. I did not buy that for a minute. Get them off the building in some other way. You know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Because once the tower goes, the top of the tower goes out, then the monsters are free from, the brainwashing stuff, whatever. Just have George grab them and jump to a different building or something.
that would have been cool.
It
That would have made more sense.
I would have
guess,
bought it more.
since The Rock and George are bros.
I also forgot to mention when the lady dies that the antidote was in the lady's purse. and
Oh,
then
yeah.
which George eats her, and then he got the antidote after eating.
And
Oh,
he-
yeah.
And he chills out, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
The antidote doesn't make him smaller though.
No, it doesn't
Right.
make him smaller, but it makes him stop being insane.
Right.
Yeah.
But
He's
the
not
other-
brainwashed anymore.
But the other two are insane.
Yeah. And that's when you get the battle between George the gorilla, Ralph the wolf, and Lizzie the alligator.
Yep.
Well, Ralph didn't last long at all because
No.
Lizzie just ate that thing like nothing.
Yeah, he tricked him.
Just ripped its head off.
I just hated the part when George throws Ralph, throws him to try to hit a building. Nope, just flies in a circle and then comes back around. Like, dude, fuck off.
The flying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course the wolf can fly.
That was the first time I noticed the flying because
That was one of my quotes I have too. He goes, "Of course the wolf flies."
I like that. I would imagine in the theater that probably got some laughs.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, just typical monster fight. All CGI, obviously.
Yeah, George was motion capture.
Yeah.
It was still CGI though.
He was actually
Well, yeah. I mean,
He was the
all right,
only-
sorry.
he was the only like creature in the movie that was actually like as like
Motion
a person.
captured?
Yeah,
Well,
as a person.
Yeah, because you're not getting a person to walk around like an alligator, are you, Tyler?
Could.
You could. The only person that could pull that off would be the
Pay
guy
me money, I'll do it.
from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I can't think of the actor's name.
I don't know who you're talking. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Right,
his name.
amazing actor. Can't
Yeah.
think of his name off the top of my head, and that hurts because I
You
definitely.
can Google it.
It looks like
All
Tyler's
it
doing
takes
it
is a
right
couple
now.
thumb taps. So we'll keep talking while Tyler gets back to us with that.
Well, I'm at the board, so I don't really go on my phone. So Tyler's got to look at that.
That's true.
Just talk about like the fight or something between the three
Alright,
creatures.
So yeah, like the thing that everyone's fighting, the building's collapsing, but at this point all the monsters, quote unquote, are on the same team. They all have one agenda, to get to the crazy building. But then they kind of start fighting each other, and
Right.
Lizzie the alligator throws George, and then he tricks the wolf into getting decapitated.
Right. So now you got crazy big Lizzie and George left.
And George left, which I mean I guess that makes sense, but like these monsters had one. Go ahead, Tyler.
What's the name? What's the
waiting
name?
for a good pause. His name is Andy Serkins or Circus.
Circus. Andy Circus. A lot more than that, brother.
Well, I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
You've never seen it either?
No.
I'm sitting at a table with two people who've never seen Lord of the Rings.
So boring.
Oh, God. Dude, what the hell is wrong with these people?
I feel like I have a pass.
No, you don't
But
have
not
a
for
pass.
my age
No,
right
you don't
now.
have a pass.
We both have passes.
All right, so... Yeah,
It's fine, Tyler.
he could have been the alligator. He could have been Lizzie, but where George is tiny,
George is tiny. The alligator is 4 times the size of him
at least. And then George gets like impaled.
on some rebar.
Yeah, it's like goes through his chest or whatever, and then Allie, what's her name? No,
Lizzie.
Allie.
Allie
Lizzie.
the alligator.
Lizzie starts going after the rock.
Yeah, well, the Rock is just like, no, George, like my
Right.
boy, and he hops in a helicopter and just starts blasting.
Right.
Blasting with some bullets, and then the alligator comes closer, hits him with those missiles.
Yeah, and then he's just like, that's my friend. Even though he's noticed that like this doesn't work the whole time, but it buys George some time. And is this the point where George comes and smashes her head with a rock? Because he does that. He smashes the alligator's head with something to get the rock away, and then later he comes back with the rebar
Yeah.
and jams it through her eye.
Yeah.
Poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Nice shot.
Yeah. And dead immediately.
Right. Well, it's right into the brain, brother.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know, because he didn't like go up. He just went straight into the eye.
I thought he just would have gone like straight from the top of the head down. But
Yeah, like swamp people. When they just blast it.
yeah,
All
exactly.
right, so all is saved. The monsters are done. George is back to normal, but still huge.
He's huge.
And hurt.
And then we get a fist, hurt sitting there. We get the fist bump, which happens multiple times in the movie. And then George dies.
kind of.
Does he?
George dies.
George dies.
He you think he's dead.
and
in
as soon as The Rock is about to cry, oh, wait, no, George has just been teasing him.
George twitches a little bit.
yeah, his fingers move.
Sign languages.
And
You
his
were
eyes
crying.
open.
Yeah.
His eyes open, and then The Rock goes, "Wait, did you just close your eye?"
I just saw you open them.
Yeah,
Right. Pretty funny, actually.
I enjoyed that sequence.
I enjoyed it. As corny as it was.
No,
and
if you
as-
like animals, you'll like that.
as
scene.
average of a movie as this was, I enjoyed that scene more than I probably should have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
then-
it's a heartwarming moment.
Yeah. Then we get the middle finger again from a giant gorilla this time.
then George
And then,
George asks The Rock if Homegirl is
Like part of him
part
or
of
something.
him, like The Rock asked him earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, we're friends, totally." And then he does the finger.
yeah, very inappropriate for a PG-13 movie. I'm
He
shocked
does
that that
the
went in.
sex sign.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was unexpected. And then
Yeah, even The Rock was like, "That's funny."
yeah, and then he flicks off the rock, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and then George is helping people off buildings behind him.
And then-
Yeah, immediately,
and then-
all these people just saw this giant gorilla be one of 3 monsters destroying the city, and just immediately jump in his hand off the building.
It's like, I got you
Like,
guys.
no,
Right.
I think I'm not going to jump in the giant
Well-
gorilla's hand that just destroyed the building and killed a whole bunch of people.
Also, one of the best quotes in the movie right there happens is just like the Rock is like, "We saved the city, buddy," and then behind him it's just the city decimated.
Right.
Just like, no, you didn't.
You destroyed the city.
Right, like the city is in
We helped
ruins.
stop destroying it more.
Right, yeah. Like we did what we could. We did what we could. Would have been a better quote.
Right.
Like, thank you.
And that's basically the end of the movie.
Yeah, it is. It rolls the credits right after.
I was expecting Joe's character to come back around, but he was dead.
Right.
Yeah.
He was.
You
He
got
wasn't
it.
coming. What, to like shoot himself out of the wolf at some
Something,
point?
or to set up a
It's like,
sequel or something.
I'm still alive.
That's right.
It's
Forgot
not,
I'm
not
special.
that kind of movie.
Forgot I'm special forces.
All right, so we basically talked some pros and cons during it, but standalone pros and cons. Anyone? What things did you like about this movie first?
You can hit Sakura if you want.
Sakura, what did you like about this movie?
Well, I mean,
Before you even start, stop. There's one thing I know you like about this movie. There's a scene in it. The dog does not die, ladies
that's
and
right.
gentlemen.
Lizzie is face to face with a golden retriever.
I saw this and I was like, oh no.
I
this
heard
is-
the dog barking. I was like, oh no,
This is
Sakura.
going to be a scene, Sakura. The dog's going to get eaten. He's going to hate this movie.
No, cute little golden retriever runs away.
smart.
Yeah, smart.
Smart of him.
Unlike all the military people. Okay,
That's right.
positives. Go.
Positive number 1, we just mentioned it. Positive number 2, can't go wrong with The Rock.
Yep.
It's just a straight up action flick.
The Rock is always awesome.
Yeah, like
Well, they actually had some heavy hitters when it came to actors in this movie.
that's true.
Some really overqualified people for this movie.
Yeah, and I think a positive is the game basically gives you nothing to go off of as a plot because it's just 3 monsters decimating a city, and they actually brought a storyline to it. I mean, I'm not sure how good that storyline is in some people's eyes, but
Mediocre.
there you go. But they actually drew up a storyline for this.
It's
and-
acceptable. It's a better storyline than I thought.
right, because if it was just a movie about 3 monsters crushing a city, like this movie would have been over in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of action in it.
It's kind of nonstop, actually.
Yeah, it's-
but not in a bad way. Not
Yeah.
like in a horrible way.
No, and then like I like The Rock's interaction with George.
Yeah.
Like, they have good
chemistry together.
Yeah.
One of my biggest pros about this movie is the runtime's an hour 40 minutes. It doesn't have to try to be one of these 2 hour and 20-minute summer blockbusters, which by the end of it you're just exhausted and you can't even pay attention anymore. So if this movie was over 2 hours, it would be a bad movie.
Probably.
like a really bad movie. But
Yeah, I don't know what else they could do.
shortening
Yeah.
it down really helps it. So that's a big pro for me, actually.
Yeah.
Tyler, you got any
yeah,
pros?
Tyler, go ahead.
Okay. I like that they add some comedy into this movie without pushing it too much, because I know
Right.
a lot of movies nowadays with action or horror movies try to push a little bit more comedy into it, which I don't really like. But this one I felt was just perfect for it.
Yeah, there's a couple times where it almost came close with the brother and just with The Rock with one-liners, which we've kind of
Well,
evolved
it's an
past.
action movie.
Yeah, but we've kind of evolved past the classic one-liners by action heroes, thankfully. But
It's not a tumor.
right.
No, I will take one-liners all day.
Any other like major positives besides acting, all that type of stuff, or should we just get into cons now?
I'll just throw in one more
Yep.
like that I like about it. Right at the end when George dies, in quotes dies, George's hand falls and then The Rock picks it up. Don't know what the actual the scene was about though, but I took it as like him realizing actually how big George actually was, with
Right.
just how big his hand was.
Yeah, because you see the fist bump in the beginning of the movie, and their like hands are.
I mean, obviously George is a little bigger, but
they're similar in size.
yeah,
But then at the end, it's just like, damn.
yeah. Don't know if that was just like, wow, my friend died, or it was, obviously people look at it differently, but
Right. All right. Con time. Things we did not like about the movie. For me, it's not a huge con. It's a very generic summer action movie where the CGI, the fight scenes, there was nothing distinctive about it. So much green screen, especially the whole third act with like The Rock and stuff in the city. You can tell it's all green screen. So that always takes me out of a movie somewhat. The other con for me is George. George actually kills a ton of people in this movie if you actually start paying attention. Like,
Yeah.
tons of people. And at the end, we're just supposed to accept, like, no one's going to be pissed about this.
Yeah.
No, The Rock says it's good.
Yeah, The Rock says it's good, so it's good. But
He's his buddy.
he kills a lot of people because he destroys huge chunks of the city, kills all those soldiers on the plane, including, like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's people, but he's fine at the end with it. Like, George is George.
That's true. A couple cons for me in the game, if we're going based on the game.
Yep, because it is a video game movie.
Yeah, it is a video game movie. All the monsters, George, Ralph, and Lizzie, are bipedal in the game, so they all walk upright. In this movie, George is the only one that walks kind of upright. He still does like the gorilla knuckle dragging. The wolf in the game, I think, is technically classified as a werewolf, so he walks on hind legs. And Lizzie, the alligator, also walks on hind legs. But, I mean, I guess for the movie, that would be, like, more unrealistic.
Right, they want to go more realistic towards what the animals are.
Another con is that they're not all the same size like they are in the game.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest con.
Right,
about
George
it.
technically should be the biggest.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that two of them are mutated and George isn't. He's just big.
Right.
The other two are
Everyone
all-
else has some sweet stuff going on, and George is just a giant gorilla.
But he's not even that big compared to the other
No,
two.
he's tiny compared to everybody else. Like Lizzie and Ralph are gigantic.
And of course the wolf flies.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
of course the
Well, in the
wolf
video
flies.
game, they flap. They can all do it in the video game. Aside from that,
No more cons?
I mean, I got a couple. Tyler, go ahead. I'll think.
I don't have much, but the brother is stupid.
Yes.
So
Right.
stupid. But obviously the brother and sister duo, I hate all those like brother stupid enemy duos stuff. And of course they made the brother just so stupid. I don't understand that.
Maybe he was the comedic
that's
foil
true.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
But he wasn't very comedic, more dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a little funny when he died, but
That's true. Oh, I have another con.
Sephora found something.
When the wolf gets his head decapitated, killing dogs again, killing ancestors of dogs.
It's a mutated wolf destroying the city.
It doesn't matter. All three
You're telling me if a wolf was destroying this city and it finally died, you would be sad about it.
a little bit. But they all have the same agenda. They're all going fighting each other. Or they're all not fighting each other. They're all fighting, destroying the city.
Yeah.
Like in the video game where they're all on a team destroying the city. And then all of a sudden they just start fighting each other. Another con is like Lizzie immediately kills Ralph with decapitation. But when she's fighting George, she just like gnaws on his leg for a little bit, tosses him here and there, gives him a couple chances.
Yeah,
which
got to. He's George.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like you're
George,
gigantic.
the albino gorilla, because Hollywood had a whitewash.
No, they said it was just because they didn't want to make it towards King Kong.
I know it's a joke, buddy. It's a joke, buddy.
All right, I know it's a joke.
All right, any more cons, or should we do any more quotes of people? I don't have any more quotes, really.
I have one more quote.
All right, hit us up.
All right. Comes from Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character.
Ooh, it's going to be a good one.
When he's talking to the colonel about either not shoot the missiles or, to actually trust Davis and Kate. He's yelling at the colonel and he tells him to get out of here. And then he says, finally, an order of yours I can agree with.
Oh, yeah, I remember that happening.
I like that quote.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, which takes us to fun facts or trivia about the movie or whatever. Normally, I have a whole bunch that I've written down, but I did not do any research for this one, ladies and gentlemen. So, Tyler's job. I was slacking. It was a rough week.
The filmmakers actually spent a lot of time at zoos and researched about the animals and alligators. So they actually went into research, to get an actual idea of what these, creatures are about and everything. The Rock had learned sign language for this movie, as he does it a lot with George.
And the sign that The Rock gives to calm George down, he's signing, he makes The Rock.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nice.
So he refers to himself.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to go back and try and look for this scene, but apparently in Claire's office, the sister of the, the company or whatever, apparently there's an arcade game of Rampage in there.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't
it's
see
kind
that.
of blurry in the background, but you can definitely see the top part that's lit up yellow.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see them put that in there.
The Dave & Buster's scene where George breaks through the Chicago Dave & Buster's was to announce their reboot video game version based on the movie. So that's when they came out with the new Rampage game for it.
Kind of helping each other out in that one.
Yep.
And trivia, in the video game, all the monsters are from people instead of just regular
straight up animals.
Mutated. So they take a vitamin and become these monsters, not like they take canisters and stuff, which, I get, because it'd be weird for 3 different humans to take a vitamin and then it just grow into 3 different monsters. So not a con, it's just, I get it.
It's a fact.
Right, you just had to do it for the movie.
Yeah. Despite sitting at only 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, Rampage actually stands at the best reviewed movie based on a video game at that time. It's now ranked number 8, below Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat in 2021 that I know Sakura loves.
It's not a birthmark, Cole.
Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Angry Birds 2, and Werewolves Within. At one point, Dr. Caldwell asked Harvey Russell which government agency he is in and sarcastically offers Justice League. 3 actors in this movie have a role in the DC universe. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Superman, Dwayne Johnson as now Black Adam, and Joe
Manganiello.
Yep, as Deathstroke in Justice League.
Yeah, and 2 of them were also in Watchmen. So what's her name? The one sister, she's in Watchmen. yeah, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the comedian. So that's a DC technically movie too. So
Harvey Russell says to Davis Okoye that he is not a people person, as The Rock Dwayne Johnson is known as the People's Champion in WWE.
Nice. And they made George white albino gorilla in this movie because they didn't want to directly, because King Kong Kong versus Godzilla was coming out soon, and they didn't want to make it too much like that, and then they didn't want to make Lizzie like Godzilla, so they referenced the movie from 20 Million Miles to the Earth, which is what the original creators from the video game said. Like, it's not Godzilla because, like, she would have had to be so much bigger, even though she was gigantic in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, that do one on the fun facts.
That's all I have.
All right, so
Super
movie
fun.
rating time. I will go first this week. My rating for this movie, I'm going to judge it as a video game movie and as a blockbuster summer popcorn film, I will give it a 2.5.
Score, what you got?
I'm debating. I'm between a 3 and a 3.5. I mean, for what it is, I'll give it a 3.
All right. Tyler, what you
I will
giving it?
double down on a 3 right there. I just think it's a solid action movie. Obviously, I have not played the game, so I can't base it off on the video game because I haven't played it.
How much do you base it off of?
Yes. But I think it's just a solid action movie.
Yeah, it's just your run-of-the-mill action flick with The Rock looking handsome.
All right, so that gives this movie an average of a 2.8. And on that system, that is kind of middle of the road, because a 5 is a truly classic.
Well, if I change it 3.5.
You're not changing nothing now. 4 is a pretty darn good. 3 is middle of the road. 2 is should be better. 1 is it's bad. And 0 is nothing redeemable. So, solid movie. And as always, if it got a 4 or higher, it would go on the Wall of Fame, which only is Conjuring so far. And if it got a 1.5 or lower, it goes on the Wall of Shame, which only belongs to Halloween Ends right now.
Yeah.
Poor little Halloween Ends.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure we'll do more. I can think of some more that'll get you there.
We'll get there. Don't worry. All right, so next movie. Next week, we have a special guest. Our buddy Brandon's coming on the show.
A.K.A. Winnow.
And we told, Winnow. And we told him he could pick any movie he wanted. After we denied him the first 10 choices for picking these little indie dramas.
Romantic dramas.
That no one's ever heard of.
Hey, you want to watch this movie from Poland?
He finally said American Beauty, and I was like, okay, fine, let's do American Beauty. So our first drama is going to be American Beauty.
Also an Oscar winner.
Yeah, also an Oscar winner. So that's going to be the next thing we do. So, Tyler, hit us up again with social media stuff.
You can check us up on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Last in Class Podcast.
All right, and as always...
Oh, don't do it yet.
Don't do it yet? You're not ready for the music? Okay.
No, something happened.
Oh no, something
Something
happened,
happened.
guys.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on all of our videos. Anything is
listening to Tyler.
appreciated.
Yes.
Just keep
Comment.
listening.
Please
Keep
comment.
Yeah, please comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Go ahead, play it, buddy.
Music by Sakura.
Music by Sakura.
Taking it like a champ.